Now, before we take a look at these numbers, what you're going to hear, the narrative is, oh, well, Caitlin Clark fans don't care about women's basketball. I find this rather interesting. Now, tell me again how it's everybody else that moves the needle. Tell me again how Paige Bueckers moves the needle. Somebody explain that to me exactly. I would love to know. Number one, hardcore fans are birthed out of casual viewers. Number two, if you don't get casual fans in every sport, your sport is destined to die.
Last year, 14.2 million people tuned in to watch Caitlin Clark in the women's Final Four. This year without her, a measly 3.1 million viewers showed up. That's 10 million fans who basically said, no Caitlin, no thanks. Paige Bueckers and UConn were supposed to be the new draw, right? The numbers tell a different story. This isn't just a small dip. It's a viewership crisis that has WNBA executives sweating bullets. Today we're breaking down what these shocking ratings mean and why some people in women's basketball are scrambling to downplay Caitlin Clark's undeniable impact on the sport.
And without casuals, your sport cannot grow. It's destined to die. And my goodness, the Final Four ratings, it is something else. Now, I understand hardcore supporters want to wear that as a badge of honor, but what really are you bragging about if your sport can't grow? Folks, ESPN PR. Friday, ESPN delivered the third best women's basketball national semifinals in 30 years. You see this right here, South Carolina, Texas, 3.6 million viewers.
Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
UConn's Final Four matchup this year dropped by over 10 million viewers from last year's matchup against Caitlin Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes. UConn, UCLA, 4.1 million viewers. And that's fine. All right. Hey, pretty good rating. That's cute. It's a pretty good rating. Right there. 14.2 million viewers last year to 4.1 million this year.
You know what's crazy? One player can completely transform an entire sports viewership overnight. That's exactly what's happening with Caitlin Clark right now. We're witnessing basketball history unfold before our eyes, and some people still want to act like it's no big deal. Let me break this down for you. Caitlin Clark isn't just another talented basketball player. She's a once-in-a-generation phenomenon who's single-handedly changing women's basketball forever. The kind of impact she's having? We haven't seen anything like this since Michael Jordan revolutionized the NBA back in the 90s. She's not just playing the game, she's redefining it.
And really, when I made my comment a minute ago, I was addressing this comment right here. So the cult of Caitlin doesn't actually like women's basketball. Color me shocked. In case you are not paying attention, that's 10.1 million less viewers compared to last year. 10.1 million? Sorry, that's a fact. For a long time, it was only Magic and Larry. All right? Then Michael came along. Now, keep in mind, there were other real stars of the NBA at that time.
But here's where things get frustrating. There's this weird resistance from certain corners of women's basketball. Some people are actually trying to downplay her impact, claiming the sport doesn't need transcendent superstars to thrive. Are you kidding me? The numbers tell us the complete opposite story. When you watch Caitlin Clark play, you immediately understand what makes her special. It's not just one thing, it's everything. Those ridiculous three-pointers she launches from the logo that make you jump out of your seat. The no-look passes that leave defenders completely confused. That fearless, aggressive play style where she's willing to take on anyone. She plays with this confidence that's absolutely magnetic. You can't look away when she's on the court. Last year when Clark played, the viewership numbers went through the roof. Women's basketball soared to heights it had literally never reached before. Games that would normally pull in maybe 1 to 2 million viewers suddenly had 14+ million people glued to their screens. That's not just a little bump, that's a complete transformation of the audience. Think about this for a second. Iowa games with Caitlin Clark averaged more viewers than most NBA regular season games. Let that sink in. A college women's basketball team outperforming the NBA in viewership. That would have seemed impossible just a few years ago when women's basketball was struggling to get any mainstream attention at all. This isn't some random fluke. It's exactly what happened in the NBA decades ago. For a long time, it was only Magic and Larry that basketball fans tuned in for, and then Jordan came along. Those transcendent superstars saved basketball in the 80s, before Jordan took it global in the 90s. Clark has that same rare quality. She transcends her sport and brings in casual fans who wouldn't normally give women's basketball a second look. And that's exactly what every sport needs to grow. As the research tells us, if you don't get casual fans in every sport, your sport is destined to die. The hardcore fans aren't enough. You need those casual viewers who might eventually become diehards. That's how sports grow their audience. And Clark is the perfect player to make that happen. Which brings us to the big question. Why can't other stars like Paige Bueckers generate the same excitement? Don't get me wrong, Bueckers is an amazing player with incredible skills, but that massive 10 million viewer drop when Clark wasn't playing proves Bueckers just doesn't have that same special quality that makes people stop whatever they're doing to watch a game. The haters don't want to admit it, but Caitlin Clark better have her head on a swivel this next WNBA season. The critics in the league, the skeptics in the media, and those original activist fans who've been following women's basketball for years, they're coming for her. Why? Because they hate statistics, they hate analytics, and they hate facts. And the facts clearly show that Clark moves the needle like nobody else. The numbers don't lie. Caitlin Clark's absence really did cause that 10 million viewer drop. That's not an opinion or a hot take. It's a statistical fact that proves she's not just a great player, but a true superstar who transforms viewership patterns unlike anyone else in the game right now. What we're witnessing is just the beginning of Clark's hero's journey. Like all great sports heroes, she's already faced doubters, critics, and challenges. But this first chapter of her story shows she has the incredible power to transform an entire sport. The question isn't whether she has the talent. We know she does. The question is whether the WNBA and women's basketball as a whole will embrace what makes her special or try to diminish it. So here's the thing. Caitlin Clark is about to face a totally different challenge in the WNBA. Even with all those amazing numbers she's put up, there are already whispers of resistance waiting for her. Some of that original activist fandom might give her trouble because they think she's not woke enough, or even just because of her race. Imagine this. Clark walks into a league where some players, media, and even fans are ready to hate on her success. The WNBA has this golden opportunity right now. They can either embrace their new superstar or let these negative forces try to dim her spotlight.